We went through a fairly full evaluation of all the providers in the marketplace and felt eGain met our key criteria most accurately. We felt it was a product that was relatively flexible. More importantly than anything, we felt that they were a group of people in the organisation that we could work with and could help to deliver the quality of service that we wanted, which we found working with eGain in the implementation of the knowledge management a real pleasure. The people have been very supportive, been very helpful, very accommodating, and have been very flexible in helping us to get up to speed and knowledge in delivering their product to our business.
I'm very proud and happy to say that eGain really has gone, the old adage, the extra mile to support our business. By the way, we signed the contract on June 30th at midnight, and we started work within a week, right? Within a week, on right after July 4th. That shows you the level of interest that we had in eGain and they had in us. We went to bed Friday night with X, and we woke up Monday morning with eGain, right? And it worked. We have gone from a siloed multi-supplier system to a single system. Yeah, it took us 2 years to get here, but we did it, like I said, from Friday night to Monday morning. And it went pretty well.
The one thing that drew us to eGain the most is probably the flexibility in working with us. Because we had a design in mind, then we would do our fit gap and our blueprinting to figure out how we wanted to do everything, with eGain there with us to help and guide us, and to be able to work within all of the different requirements that we had within our own bigger project.
Something powerful about eGain that we have the same platform that supports these two markets. We can deploy the same, we can deploy chat, integrating it with our systems in Chile, using the same instance of our eGain platform. And when we do it in Chile, it's in Spanish. When we do it in Brazil, it's in Portuguese.
Well, when we actually took a deeper look at our metrics for quality, we realized that we were sending out 1 in every 22 parts wrong. And as we started looking at that, we realized it was because we didn't have a good diagnostic tool. We would pull the calls, listen to the calls, and listen to what the agent would ask the person, well, you know, what color is your window? And they'd tell them, and we'd send that color out. They'd call back and say, that's not the right color. So we found that we really had some pretty significant errors around quality. So let me ask a question. Does anybody have an idea of what would be the similarity between a Milky Way bar and Andersen windows? Any ideas? Okay, so let me tell you what our agents were doing. So as I mentioned, we've had products since the early 1900s. We've had the colors that were our base unit colors were white, and we had sandtone, and we had terratone. And the best way for our agents, we would listen to calls. They'd say, what color is your window? And they would say, it's tan. And so then the agent would say, is it dark tan or light tan? And then finally we heard people saying, is it like the inside or the outside of the Milky Way bar? Because it really helped people kind of visualize what that color would be. So we thought that was kind of a fun example of how our poor agents were trying to figure out with the customer what they needed to have to resolve their issue. So when we went with eGain, what we did was we chose their knowledge tool as well as their web self-service, and we wanted it for consumers. In the past, our website had really been geared toward dealers and more technical people, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how our website was redesigned. So we wanted it to be consumer-facing as well as a tool for our agents. We also knew that we needed a very visual experience, which is different than what we had in the past. I think the Milky Way bar is a good example, and I think that's why we had a lot of misdiagnosis, is that when you're talking, people perceive things differently, and you aren't very accurate in some situations. So having pictures were incredible for us. On our online parts store, because people could see pictures, our return rate was 2% or less. On the standard side of the business, we were returning things at about 10%. So we knew that visuals and images were going to just be critical for people to see and say, that's the one that I have.
I'm not saying that, you know, Oracle didn't have a similar type of solution, you know. No, I am saying they didn't have a similar solution, and I am saying that they didn't have the same direction. And the same thing goes with IBM and all the others in the space. They didn't quite have it. They didn't get it. They didn't get that you needed some type of central customer interaction hub, right? All right, so the reason why we were working with eGain, because they fit. They fit with that central vision I was talking about earlier.